What is up, everyone? It is Alan from AG Reviews, back at it again, and we are here for the 11th episode of the Scene and Screen podcast. So we're back. Time for another episode. Couple of cool things to talk about this week. On the news side in movie and TV, it's a little light. Not a whole lot to talk about here that was like big or buzz generating news, but we got some stuff to talk about. There were some stories that came out. We got some stuff to look forward to. I got some stuff I want to review that I watched in the last week since the last episode. So let's just get right into it. We are going to start the show off talking about the movie Roofman because this is the only film I was able to go to the theater and see, and the new release I could see. Originally, I was going to go see this the week prior when it came out because that was when it released, and I'm not a huge Tron fan, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So this was the movie I had kind of penciled in, but that weekend I was pretty busy, so I wanted to push it out to early last week, midweek, and then obviously I ended up getting an early screener to go see Black Phone 2. So this one kind of got pushed off a little bit. So I went to go see it last night. Hold on one second here. Sorry. I went to go see it last night, and man, I was very surprised by this film with how much I enjoyed it, with how emotional it got me. Like, that was the part of it I was not expecting. The way it was marketed was a little bit strange because the trailers for this film and what they give you is not really the vibe that the film captures. It is for certain aspects of it and certain moments of it, but the overall messaging and tone and what this movie actually delivers, I don't believe that the trailers really captured what this movie was at the heart of it. And for me, that was a very, very pleasant surprise, and honestly a movie that might end up cracking my top 10 at the end of the year because it was so effective in what it did and the kind of story it told. It's not a perfect film. That's why, it's not, I wouldn't say it's in my top 3 or maybe not my top 5, but I think it could crack 10. I had a really good time with this film. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. So let's kind of go into my positives and why I liked this film and why I had such a good time with it. To start off, right off rip, the performances in this film are fantastic. I think both Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst were great in this role. In this film, their chemistry together was something that, I was not expecting to really enjoy, but I felt like they worked together really well, and they did a really good job of portraying, a couple that actually has chemistry with one another. And I'll be honest, big Sam Raimi Spider-Man guy here, big Tobey Maguire fan. To me, Kirsten Dunst is easily one of the weakest things about that whole trilogy of films. I think she was the best in the original, and then I think in each progressive film, her performance got worse. So I'll be honest, going into this, with someone like Channing Tatum, I did not expect her to really do good or to kind of hold her own and have that chemistry with him. But man, they both did a great job, at, like I said, portraying a natural couple that has chemistry with one another. So I really liked their performances, particularly Channing Tatum. I feel like this is one of the best roles he's ever had. There's a lot of layers to this role. Obviously, this is a very true story, and I was kind of surprised at how true the story was once I kind of looked into it a little bit more and what they showed at the end of the film. This is a true story. I don't remember the guy's name right offhand. I think it was Jeff Manchester was his name, Jeff Manchester. So this is a real story, about a guy who would rob places. Particularly what they highlight in this film is fast food chains and kind of steal the money that they had on hand. And they called him the Roofman because he would cut holes into the roof and break in, and that's essentially how he would be able to get in on the property and rob these places. So the kind of multiple layers that he has to portray, where it's at the end of the day, he is the bad guy of this story. He is the one committing crimes. He is the one doing terrible things. But you kind of go on this journey with him where you root for him and you want him to do good and you want him to essentially get what he wants here. And I really thought that the nuance that Channing Tatum played in this role was really well done. I mean, he's a former veteran who can't really, get a break in the real world. He can't hold a job. He's not the most personable person, but he is nice. He seems like he has a kind heart and a good soul, but he just has no way to, make ends meet and to support his family. So he commits crime, which, you could say that about, there's a lot of people in this world who are probably like that. And I know I've met people, I know people personally, who I grew up with and that are in my family that are like that. So for me, it was a very layered, a very nuanced performance. He blends being a criminal on the run with wanting to be a family man, wanting to be nice to people, wanting to take care of people. And it was just such a nuanced performance from him. And then on like the other hand, with Kristen Dunst, she is, kind of the girl he meets while he's on the run and ends up falling in love with. And she's a Christian woman, and she has two daughters, that he really bonds with. And just that role, this was one of the most likable characters that I've seen from her in years. Like even with Civil War, I liked her performance in it, but I didn't really bond and care too much about her character in that film. Whereas here, the whole time, I found myself really liking her character and really rooting for them and wanting them to be happy with one another. And so the performances brought out a lot of emotions for me, and that was definitely one of the strongest aspects of this. That's Channing Tatum, his performance, Kristen Dunst's performance. They really hold this film together, and they're the glue that makes it work. So, yeah. So then we'll move on. Another positive for me, the tonal blend. I talked about the trailers and how it's a little bit deceiving as to what this movie really is, and it is a tonal blend. They give you more of the humor aspects in the trailers, where I think in the movie it's really more of a blend. It's between humor. It's kind of like a thriller, like a crime thriller, and then it's also a romance film. So to me, I felt like it did a really good job and did really well at blending all three of those genres together. Where one moment you're laughing at the jokes and the jokes are landing. I didn't think any jokes really fell flat in this film. I mean, there were some jokes that were funnier than others, and there wasn't a whole lot of them. But I really felt like it worked on like a superficial level. Like it just all around, all the jokes worked for me. And it just did good blending that with like the really emotional moments where, the whole time in this movie, he's on the run, so this is not going to end well. So that kind of like ticking time bomb in the background with knowing that like this is probably not going to end well. He's going to get caught, and sorry, that combination of that tension with the humor and the romance side of it, really worked well for me. I felt like it really blended the genres very, very well. Sorry, hold on a second here. My apologies. Give me 1 second. Okay. So the sorry guys, I am a little distracted here. So yes, the blend of the genres and the tonal blend worked really well for me, and it made it very emotional in moments, but it also alleviated the tension and allowed for it to have some really, really good humor. And that was, like I said, forefront in the trailers, but I really felt like the tonal blend of the film is really what made this movie work. Obviously, too, the story is very unique, and it was a lot more accurate than I thought. Like, I was watching the film, and a lot of the things that were happening, I'm like, there ain't no way that this is real. Come to find out, yes, there's a lot about this movie, actually, that was real. A lot of scenes in this film, like, I don't want to spoil what happens, but you can obviously look it up and read about it. But, what happens in this film, there's a lot of accuracy to it. And that create like for me that's puts it on another level where it's a lot more unique than a lot of these other based on a true story films, because you know that a lot of this stuff did in fact happen. And some of it's just so crazy that you think to yourself, like, wait, like, there's no way. Like, it's just no way that this could have possibly actually happened. But it did. So, that was really cool. Um, Also, too, I mean, the movie itself, too, visually, the way it's filmed, cinematography wise, sound, everything on the technical aspects was done flawlessly as well. So it's a very beautiful looking film. It uses color and the seasons to kind of make you understand like what time of year it is without telling you the time has passed. And there's kind of like I said, like a ticking time bomb element to this film where he's on the run, so he's got to make certain moves and do certain things by the time we get to the end of the film. So I felt like that just worked really well for it. But not everything did work for this movie for me. It wasn't a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. Even though I did have a lot of fun with it, it was a lot better than I expected. I do feel like a little bit that on a lot of the emotional beats of the film and kind of the things that made you care about um, Jeffrey as a character, they didn't really go into why he decided to kind of throw away a normal life for a life of crime. They don't really tell you or really explain well. Like they kind of tell you in passing and with certain comments, but they don't tell you in a way that really felt super satisfying to know, like, why are you making these decisions that are essentially ruining your life and making you have to go on the run and be a fugitive. So I would have liked a little bit more of like diving into like why he makes these decisions and why he does these things. I also feel like there was some pacing issues with the film. The beginning, in particular, really kind of it dragged its feet a bit. It took a little bit to get going. This movie's 2 hours. And I would say for probably about the first 30 to 40 minutes, it didn't really have a lot of traction. They tell you it's like kind of like a prelude portion of the movie where they delve into him with his family and the events leading into him going on the run. And I just didn't find a lot of that interesting. I really did like Lakeith Stanfield, though. I forgot to actually mention him when we were talking about the performances on the positive side, so that is another positive I forgot. His dynamic with Jeffrey before he goes on the run, I thought worked really, really well. And I enjoyed their back and forth and their dynamic and their friendship. But outside of that whole beginning part of the film in the beginning where they go into why he's on the run, like what he did exactly, I didn't get a whole lot out of it. There were some good comedic moments in some of the robbery scenes that I felt like that they had, but for the most part, the pacing was a little bit there. And a lot of the characters as well in the film aren't really like we don't really deep dive into any of them or kind of get into not I wouldn't say their backstory, but we don't really get into like what makes them tick. They're kind of all like very stereotypical characters, right? Like you just get base level stuff, and then that's kind of the type of character they are for the rest of the film. Specifically with Peter Dinklage, who played Mitch, who was the like store manager of the Toys R Us that he was at. He kind of is just one note the entire time. Obviously, Peter Dinklage is a great actor, so someone of his capability is able to take a role that's very minimal and doesn't really have too much depth and make it charismatic. So I really did appreciate that from him. But a lot of those side characters, you don't really get a lot from them. Really, like I said, the most deep dived and the most you get from any of the side characters is Kristen Dunst and her two daughters and the whole family dynamic between them and Channing Tatum's character. So yeah, and then obviously too, I talked about it earlier. The trailers for this film were very, very misleading. It's not primarily a comedy. Yes, there's some humor in it. There's some really good zingers in it, but it's not a comedy. That's a very big misrepresentation of what this film is. Like I said, it was a lot more emotional than I was expecting. It went way more into the romance aspect than I was expecting. Which again I enjoyed. But going into this film, you kind of have to have the proper expectations, of what this film actually is, and I just don't think the marketing really did a great job on that. So that's pretty much all I have to say on this film. Like I said, I had a great time with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was very pleasantly surprised by it. Probably will crack my top 10 by the end of the year. Probably not top 5, right? So because those couple of those things nagged me a little bit and kind of held it back from being really, really great. But a very, very fun time. And one that I would definitely recommend you check out if you saw the previews and had any interest in it. Just go in with the right expectations, and I think you'll enjoy it. You'll have a fun time. All right, so let's move on. Obviously, on a week-to-week basis here, we have been talking about Gen V, and last week was the penultimate episode, episode 7. We have the finale tomorrow, which is crazy. And honestly, that's what I don't like about them doing the 3 episodes right off rip, because it's only a 5-week period with 8 episodes. So, that part of it, I'm like, damn, man, I wish we had those extra 3 weeks to kind of marinate on what was going on here. But yeah, obviously a pretty big episode when it came to revelations in episode 7. So obviously this is going to be full-on spoilers if you haven't watched Gen V, or you're not caught up, or if you don't care about spoilers, that's fine. So we'll kind of get into it. Obviously, the very big major twist of this episode, we have Marie go in, kind of sneak into Godolkin, get to this corpse, this charred body that we have been teasing all season, and we think, and that they have been theorizing, all the characters have, that it is Thomas Godolkin. We get confirmation that it is Thomas Godolkin. Maria revives him, and we then realize, which I thought was pretty obvious, and I thought should have been clear to the characters, but we'll get into that in a minute, that Thomas Godolkin is not a savior. He's not going to save them, and he was Cypher the whole time, and he was controlling Cypher the entire time. And we get clues and we get hints to it, but they full on reveal it. And it's the guy, I don't know his name, but he's dating Ariana Grande. He played SpongeBob, I think, on Broadway or something. And we get him kind of revealed as the mastermind behind it, and that he's been controlling the guy who was Cypher. I think his name was like Bob or something, controlling him for years, and just had his body and was kind of playing him like a puppet. And then it's Ethan Slater, that's his name. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Ethan Slater. And you get that reveal, and again, it was one that a lot of people have predicted, and I've kind of seen coming. But I felt like it was executed very well in the moment, in the scene. So I really liked that. The thing I didn't like about it is that the guy that actually played Cypher, to me, was much more charismatic and was better as a villain. I thought he was one of the best villains that we've gotten in this boys universe. So when you kind of strip that away from him and then you give it to Ethan Slater, who I don't think is as good of an actor, when you get that scene when he's walking into the courtyard with all the other soups and he kind of just starts picking them off one by one, I didn't really feel like he was that menacing. And I feel like when you have a big bad like this and you had one that was as good as Cypher was, a little bit of problems there. So that was how I felt about the big twist. Obviously, that was like the biggest aspect of the episode, even though it was one I think that a lot of people predicted and a lot of people saw coming. So we'll kind of move on to other things I liked about it. Obviously, everything, we're in the penultimate episode. Everything is starting to feel big. The stakes are getting high. We now have a villain going into this final episode who essentially just wants to kill all of the weaker soups. So it gets me very excited. It makes me very happy with the way that the story has been playing out in this season. There was a lot of stronger character moments in this episode between Marie and her sister Annabeth. It seems like they're finally getting to a point now where Annabeth is ready to embrace Marie, which for Marie's character arc in these 2 seasons, I feel like was where we've been going, and it's very good to finally get to that point. So I really liked that. I like I didn't at first, but I like where they're going with Kate's character and her redemptive arc. I feel like she's become a little bit more level-headed than what we have seen from her in the past. So like her whole mission going with Marie and just trying to convince her to trust her. I like how that whole storyline is playing out. But we'll kind of get into some of the stuff that I don't really like about this episode, and some things that I think are some of the problems of what 8-episode seasons can cause. Is that I feel like we have a little bit too much still lingering. And I know we got The Boys season 5. I don't feel like a lot of what is playing out here is going to be too big of a factor going into that final season of The Boys. But a lot of it I feel like just needs to get wrapped up. I also feel like we're going into the kind of Emma and Sam dynamic again, which, like, I like them. I think they have good chemistry together. But this kind of like will they, won't they that they keep playing, and they kind of keep like regurgitating their character arcs for both of them. Not a huge fan of that. I think we kind of need to put them both on separate paths and new arcs, right, and new stories for them. So a lot of that, I feel like a lot of the subplots in this episode kind of felt undercooked and felt like we didn't really get a lot. And I feel like that whole Emma Sam dynamic was kind of like a prime example with that. Although I do feel like the like fraternity joke when Sam shows up to Godolphin again, or God You again, with the guy on the leash. I thought that whole situation was kind of hilarious, where he kept like following him around. He's like, "Yo, get away from me!" And he's just like, "No, I don't believe you. They're gonna beat me up if I do that." So yeah, I mean, even though I feel like this episode, obviously had a big and major reveal, I do feel like there was a little bit lacking in like some of the side characters and some of those plot lines, where it was just kind of like a linear focused episode where like we're so gung-ho on getting to Thomas Godolphin and healing him because we think he's our hero. And that's another thing too. It's like this episode kind of made some of the main characters seem a little dumb, particularly Marie. I'm like, I feel like she should have kind of understood that Godolphin is not good, and his whole mission is essentially to control soups. And now he is a soup, which I don't really know where. There's kind of a disconnect, obviously, from what we got early in the season about him and where he became a soup, and like how he's like basically one of the most powerful soups in the universe. So I didn't really like that. I just feel like some of the characters had to get a little dumbed down in order for some of the storylines and everything here to work. So I didn't really appreciate that too much with the writing. But again, it was a very focused narrative and a very focused story in this episode, and one that I think ended on a note and in a place where I'm very excited for this final episode that comes out tomorrow, which, again, it's kind of sad that we're already at the end of the season here. But I think it gets you excited enough, provides you with one of the bigger twists of the season, and then kind of lacks a little bit in some of the other aspects. So I'm hoping that maybe episode 8 is a little bit stronger. Although I did just see a report, essentially, that episode 8 is only going to be 42 minutes, which I don't know. I'm getting sick of this television trend where we get 8 episodes every single year for shows, and then 40-minute episodes with each episode. So it's like 4.5 hours basically every 2 to 3 years that we're getting with each show. Kind of over that. So those were my thoughts on episode 7. Looking forward to the finale. So yeah, we will move on, and we are going to welcome in Mr. 180, Ronell. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Glad to have you back on.
Oh man, glad to be here.
Absolutely. Did you hear any of the spoilers I was talking about for Gen V?
So I still yet to watch it. But you know me, I don't. You can tell me about it.
I was trying to be vague because I know you were waiting in the back. I was trying to be vague a little bit on some.
Nah, you good.
I mean,
man.
the big one, obviously, I couldn't avoid that one, but I was trying to be vague. So, all right, yeah. So, kind of a week. Not the strongest week when it comes to movie news. I was kind of talking about that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot that's been happening, right? So we're kind of just going to talk about some trivial topics here, right? Us movie nerds find entertaining, but maybe not all the general people out there. But I will hold on one second here. The one thing I did want to talk about, and this was today that this kind of broke, that Warner Brothers is seemingly on the market. A little unclear on what they're looking to sell. It's kind of being said that they're looking to sell off properties when it comes to like film and TV, but not the channels and the streaming services.
Okay.
And then, so I don't really know. It seems like there's a lot here that is unclear, and they're basically just saying, "Hey, we're taking any and all offers that are out there, whether it's to buy the whole ship or just pieces of the ship." So, I kind of want to talk about that as a whole. And when you saw this story, like, what was your initial thought? Like,
Disney?
Damn, are we doing this again?
I thought of Disney.
Disney?
Yeah, I thought of Disney.
Could you imagine if they're the ones to buy them?
Oh, dude,
my fucking
like,
God.
And as soon as I seen it, I'm like, oh, dude,
Disney.
No. But to be fair, like, or just why not?
Yeah.
In this situation, it's like,
I don't want to see them with both Marvel and DC. I'm sorry. I can't in good faith sign off on that.
I'm not saying I want to neither. I'm just saying what are the odds that Disney just comes in and purchase them, man? And
that's a sad
buying
reality.
up everything now.
That's a sad fucking reality, because they already bought Fox, right? Which was like a huge IP acquisition, a huge catalog for their streaming and everything. And it's like, dude, Disney can't own the damn world. I mean, that's just where I'm at with it.
I mean, look, money is
it's everything.
It's everything. So if they could do it and then come in and give us what we've been asking for, I'm not gonna say too much, but just I know.
Are you talking about the initial start, or ZS? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, why?
I think,
not?
hey, I'll be honest. If they end up selling, I think that's a possibility for any company, right?
Yeah.
I think, look. I don't know how it would work. I think the logistics are pretty kind of crazy, because obviously, regardless of how we feel about James Gunn and his direction, right? Yeah. Which I'm probably more positive than you have been so far. But at least with like the movie, right, with Superman, like, I was more positive on that than you were, right? So in that regards, like I still, though, it has mostly been positive. This has been a good start for the human.
Yeah, dude. So I agree.
Yeah, so it's a very weird dynamic, right? So it's like you got that, but then you got this rabid fan base of Zack Snyder that just doesn't stop.
That don't stop.
Even when I want them, I was a part of that fan base. I was championing the release of the Snyder Cut. Right. But it's like, at a point, I kind of was like, all right, we got to kind of like, all right, we got the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. Let's enjoy what we're gonna get here. But like, no, there's been people who just do not stop, and some of them I think are nut jobs and out of their mind, and some of them are just people who love the property and love what he brought. Right. Now, I will say there was a report essentially that Paramount already put in a bid, so they're one of the people, and it got rejected. But they're one of the people, obviously, who were looking to buy Warner Brothers. Netflix. Now that one,
I can see that.
Hey, I'm just saying they got a deal with Zack Snyder, so if that one happens,
then we'll.
That one's a little bit more likely than for that to come back if it's Netflix, and then Comcast, right? Which I think on Comcast, if something like that happened, I think that's more for the streaming stuff like HBO Max, Discover and everything like that. Yeah, man, I feel like we hear about this every freaking year. Like it's like every other year we're hearing about Warner Brothers possibly getting sold, new leadership coming in, and it's just crazy to me. Like,
because nobody want to, like, I don't think they're just at this point where the direction they went. I honestly, I don't see them holding on too long anyway.
It's damaged goods at this point, which is crazy because I really feel like they've had a great year. I mean, when you look at their movie lineup and everything, they've done this. Like they had Weapons, they had Sinners, they had Superman for even for what the reception of that. Like it was a success.
Yeah, no, it still got a good. It was a success. Yeah,
it was a success. They had F1. They had a bunch of good movies this year. So I'm like, I feel like this is the first year in a long time where like unanimously they've actually had a good year. So then when you hear that, I'm just like, holy shit, man! Like even when you guys,
I don't think that year it just gonna make up for all this. Yeah, it's just like it's been too much stuff that is taking place with Warner Brothers. Yeah. Like you said, having this good year, because they have had a good year, even though I don't like the storyline of Superman, I enjoy some it was parts I enjoy, and I see why people like Superman. It was still a success. So I'm with you on that, but I just think all this stuff that is taking place with Warner Brothers, it just can't, Disney can have a season where they, crap and up.
Yeah.
But they know how to they can bounce back. But yeah, Warner Brothers, I think, is just too much damage done, man.
Yeah. And that's crazy to think because I don't know, when you think back 10, 15 years, right, when we were younger, it was like Warner Brothers was one of the best studios. Like
best.
When you saw that logo popping up before a movie, you were like, oh, man, this is about to be fire. So, man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think that
I know you're saying that we got to move on from Zack Snyder. I just wanted to see.
Oh, no. Hold on. I would absolutely, dude, if they announce tomorrow that Zack Snyder is coming back to finish his Justice League, I will be screaming with joy, skipping, screaming, yeah, like I'm at a football game. Okay, I was in the mindset I didn't want to keep setting myself up for disappointment. Right, I didn't want to put all my eggs in that basket and then be disappointed with anything else. Right. It became, look, I'll be honest, like I went down the rabbit hole really bad with that universe and a lot of the people involved with that movement. And after a while, like, dude, I found myself arguing with people on X. I'm like, you know what? I need to chill. I need to relax. This is a fucking DC movie we're talking about here. There are more important things in life than that.
Yeah.
But again, absolutely would be through the moon ecstatic if they came back and they did that. So that's no indication on that.
I got you. I just need, because you tease me with Batman v Superman, you tease me with Affleck's Batman and when he went and saved Martha Kent. Yeah. And you really seen Batman for the first time. Like, I love Christopher Nolan's Batmans, but I don't love it for Christian Bale. I love it for the villains.
Yeah.
I love Michael Keaton's Batman, but that's old. And now you got the technology to really bring Batman to life, and you give us Ben Affleck, who a lot of people wasn't sold on, but I think he was amazing.
You were day one on him. I remember.
I was like, dude, this to me works. He would work, and what he gave us was like, I was like, all right, cool. So I'm thinking we're gonna get a solo movie, and then that happened. So if they do this, I know it's all theory.
Yeah.
If they do this, they bring Zack Snyder, just give me one Ben Affleck solo Batman.
Yeah. I honestly, of all the cast members in his Justice League, I think Ben Affleck would actually be the hardest to get back. And that's only because
big time.
Because of his what he's got going on in his personal life and how badly his experience was on Justice League. Not with Snyder, right? But when they brought in Whedon and everything kind of got destroyed.
Man.
I think it would be hard. Now, look, again, if Netflix buys it and they go to him and they say, hey, we will give you the keys. You can direct, write, and star in your own movie.
Do your thing.
He's probably going to do it. He's probably.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
But, and I think he would come back for Zach too. Because clearly, I mean, he went and filmed those because they had to film new scenes for the Snyder Cut when that came out.
Yeah.
And he did it with no hesitation.
With no problem,
so I think he would come back for those scenarios. But for me, though, like the only problem with that is I do think that like there's got to be a world where maybe if that happens, that's on streaming, and then
Okay.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't. Because look, if we bring him back like, let's say a sale happens with Netflix, and we bring him back, and then we axe James Gunn universes, all you're doing is creating another fan base that you had for Zack Snyder. It's another fan base who's going to say the same things and is going to go, who love David Corn, Sweat of Superman, and that whole universe, and they're going to do the same exact thing. So for me, it's like, you got to kind of just let Zach do 2 more movies and then call it a day with him.
Just call it a day.
You know, do it on Netflix, because it's probably going to be 4 hours long a piece, you know, which I'm fine with and I would love. But, you know, maybe with a limited theater release so we can go watch it on the big screen. But
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, just overall in general with Warner Brothers, it's like, and it's a lot with DC too, if you like really think about it. Like that's where a lot of the kind of disdain and the dirtiness comes from. Because even when you think about it, when Zaslav came in, one of the biggest stains on them was them canceling the Batgirl film, and for tax purposes, you know, and so it's stuff like that. And it's like, it seems like DC's kind of always at the center of it, even though it's not their only asset. Like, they have so much more too. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just keep seeing that, and I'm like, dude, again, like AT&T bought them right a couple years ago.
AT&T.
Then I don't even remember who it was last time. Discover or whatever like that. Like they bought them, and I'm like, dude.
Then HBO came in, right? HBO.
I don't think they bought them. I think, well, no, because Warner Brothers bought HBO.
Okay, so then I thought HBO was the ones that told them, hey, release the Snyder Cut.
Oh, they were. Yes.
Yeah.
No, but again, that was such a like bottle in time, because it was COVID, right? There was nothing coming out, and everyone was clamoring for the Snyder Cut. And like, dude, they gave him $70 million to finish that film. That will never happen again. There will never be a time in history where a studio fucks a movie up and then they go back and give the guy another $70 million. The movie. There's no way. Like, it'll just never happen. I always thought, like, and I think we've even talked about this, I thought if they were ever going to release the Snyder Cut, it was going to be like an unfinished version where we didn't have
we got 4 hours of
fully realized.
It was
like
really different from that Justice League. It was way different.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, that was eye-opening, because when I watched that movie,
dude,
I was like, how did they possibly, all the changes that they made for the Justice Cut, how did they do that? Like, how did they watch that movie and go, yeah, this is a better version than what we got? What? Like,
there's no way.
No way, shape, or form.
There's no way.
No, they did, though. That's the thing. Like, they actually, whoever was in charge of Warner Brothers at that time did that. And I'm like,
and thought that this was gonna, that's crazy.
Like, you have that scene with the Flash where he reverses time to save everyone.
Yes.
And you thought a scene where he's pushing a car while Superman comes by with a flying building was better. I'll never will understand that ever in my lifetime. It's crazy.
Or all the dark side, dude. The fact that we get Darkseid and the way we get him, we've been waiting on Darkseid like we was waiting on Thanos.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the vibe I got from him every time he showed up. It was like those early days with Thanos, where it's just like this presence, you know, this like, oh, when he shows up, dude, shit's going down. Like,
yes, man.
You know,
so
it's crazy. Yeah, Caitlin saying Disney about to monopolize everything. Hey,
yeah, I believe it. I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that.
They gonna go
here.
ahead. Yeah, man, go ahead,
you know?
do it.
Yeah.
What does it matter at this point? What does it matter?
Yeah. All right, Jedlin, thanks for joining the stream. How many hours till Gen V finale drops? Love the shirt, by the way. Thank you. A lot of horror topics, so I wanted to wear my Terrifier shirt. I think Gen V drops midnight. I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's when it drops. But I don't know.
Now you about to have me binge watch it this weekend.
Dude, it's good. It's good. It's really good. I would definitely watch it at least before The Boys season 5.
Okay.
Yeah, just so that way, because I know they're gonna probably intertwine those characters at some point. You know, with certain stuff. So, but yeah, man. I mean, Warner Brothers. I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of. I don't know.
It's over.
Yeah. The only thing I will say, there's one acquisition that can happen that would actually make me excited, and not for anything like TV or movie related. it's Universal. And the only reason I say that is because if that happens, I think Universal can use DC at their parks, because at Universal Studios they have like this weird like Marvel corner, in at least in the one in Florida. I know in California they have like the full Avengers campus at Disney, but in Florida they have this weird like old comic book style Marvel corner at Universal, and it's got like the a ride from the '90s TV show of Spider-Man, like the comic book accurate Hulk, Fantastic Four, stuff like that.
Really?
But I'm like, oh yeah, it's actually pretty fun, to be honest. Every time I go there, I'm like, it's a cool little like retro area that I have a lot of fun with, especially the Spider-Man '90s show, because like that was my go-to Saturday morning cartoon growing up. So, but I look at that and I'm like, you know, Disney kind of has most of Marvel with the parks. If Universal can somehow get like a DC themed like over here working, that'll give, because they obviously got a lot of buzz with Epic Universe and everything like that. So adding in some superheroes, I think would be pretty good for Universal. But I can only wish. But again, that's not even the film side and everything like that. That's really just for that.
That's just I got you.
Yeah. Really hyped up for the finale. Yes, me too. I'm definitely excited for the finale. Although I'm a little worried about all of the plot lines that we kind of have dangling and where it's going to go. But hopefully we get a season 3. That's not confirmed or looking the best when it comes to viewership. So we'll see. Okay, so we'll move on here. First topic I wanted to bring off. We'll talk a little box office today. You know, ideas of movies that we got going on. We're going to talk about Black Phone 2. Obviously, that was the big release of last week that I talked about, and it killed it at the box office. I don't have exact numbers. I was trying to pull that up, and then I got distracted. So worldwide, it is at 43 million, which I know doesn't seem like a whole lot, but for horror films that are typically very low budgeted. I imagine it had to have already made back its budget, if I had to guess. Yeah, they're saying 30 million, right, for the budget. So at 43, we're already in the clear. We're already doing good.
You clear,
Yeah. And it's kind of just another, like this entire year, box office-wise, I feel like has been just completely dominated by horror. Like all the movies that have come out that have actually been profitable this year have been horror. Like you got Sinners, you got Weapons. Now you got Black Phone 2. So I know that you're not like the biggest horror guy, but what are your thoughts on like the fact that really it's been the last couple of years, horror kind of seems to consistently be the genre that is producing and is actually bringing people to the theater?
Well, no, I'm huge on horror. It's just because of my beliefs, that I got out of it. However, that doesn't mean I don't keep up with it.
Well, yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah.
So, I like that because I grew up off of, and I'm so excited for us to talk about the topic we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
The last topic, but
yeah, for sure.
So keeping up with it, I'm happy because it seemed like it was dying.
Yeah.
Like it was taking a turn, man, and
early 2010s. Yeah, bro. It was because of that. Everything was like a paranormal movie. Yeah. And I'll be honest, so, Jordan Peele had a big play in kind of bringing it back a little bit and
absolutely
introducing something new. So he gets a lot of credit, I think, for kind of bringing in this era that we're in currently right now. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see horror movies come back into like that, because horror movies was always a big thing.
Yeah.
Like in movies, horror then sci-fi. It was always horror then sci-fi or action. Yeah. So to see that these movies now, that people are really like the directors, the producers are taking the time and actually giving a horror film instead of giving us this nonsense. I'm happy to see stuff like this. Like, even though I didn't watch Sinners, I knew what Sinners was about.
Yeah,
I like the whole. I think Ryan Coogler, which is one of my favorite directors,
one of the best.
He did he did a phenomenal job on how he just brung. It was modern, but yet still told a story from back in the day. So
so many
and
influences too from classic
yeah,
horror films, like so many.
absolutely,
Like
man.
I'm like I didn't even knew he knew ball on horror like that because he's never really been in that alley, and I was like, dude.
Well, he's from the '80s and he's from LA. He
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
know
I know,
about, you know
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
After the fact, I was like, wait, yeah, this actually should have been obvious that he was gonna do this, but beforehand, it's just. Well, it's because of what we knew him from, right? Creed,
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Panther, Fruit of Station, like that was never in that realm. So when he did it, I was like, "Oh, damn, man! This
yeah,
is actually might be where you're the best." I don't know,
yeah, man.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was from what I've seen, like
yeah,
that was a good movie.
and
Just
it's
knowing the
weird too.
plot.
Yeah, because that movie's not even like super strong on the horror elements,
Right.
but when he does them, it's so
It's
perfect. Like
spot
it's
on.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Spot
That's still
on,
my
right.
favorite movie of the year, by the way. I don't know if it's getting dethroned.
I thought you said Weapons was because I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
But I saw. Let me tell you, I saw the end of Weapons, and I was like, oh my god.
Of who it is? Is that what you saw?
No, of the
Oh, the
kids.
endings. Oh, dude, bro,
Dude,
you got to get
I'm
the
like,
context. You have
what?
to have the context, though. You got to watch.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
you got to
definitely,
watch it.
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that gave me like
Yeah.
Children of the Corn
Oh
vibe.
yeah.
You know, it just gave me those.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, horror back.
Yeah.
So I'm
For sure.
happy.
So I know at first I've kind of calmed down. I've rewatched both Sinners and Weapons since then. I still think Sinners.
Oh, okay,
I still think Sinners is better. They're close though. They're close for sure.
Okay.
I think Weapons is definitely my number 2. But again, my top movies of the year, that's always fluctuating. By the end of the year, I could have 3 more. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, did you ever see the first Black Phone or no?
No, so
Okay.
I didn't watch. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kind of revisit before I watch because I want to watch Black Phone too because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
And so I know you said something about it. A couple of people I know said stuff about him. So I think I'm gonna go back and check it out. Checked out the first one before I, get into the
Give it the second. Yeah.
yeah.
The first one to me is again like on that level of some of the better horror films in the last like decade.
Okay.
And it's not a movie that is overtly horror, right? Like it doesn't. At least the first one didn't have a lot of the supernatural elements. They kind of brought it in more in the second one. But in the first one, it was really just a story about Ethan Hawke being a guy who kidnaps and kills kids. And the story is about a kid who gets kidnapped who's just trying to escape. So, and it gets into some supernatural stuff, but I think it was very kind of toned back. But even the second one, the second one is a straight up like Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff. And I liked it for that, though. I feel like it worked because we haven't had a Nightmare on Elm Street movie in like 15 years, and we haven't seen Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger in like 22 years. So yeah. So like for me as like a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, like the second one really had me like, oh, this is giving me my Freddy fix that I haven't seen in a while.
Okay.
It was a bit of a step down, though. I still think the first one was overall better. But it was still very enjoyable. I had a good time. I got to see it early too. I saw it a couple days earlier at a screener. And at those screeners, the crowds are kind of always involved and very active, right? So I thought I definitely had a good time with it and would definitely recommend it. But yeah, horror's just been on a tear, man. It's as someone like for me, I've always been a horror fan. That's always been my favorite genre. Yeah. I love seeing this revival that we've gotten in the last.
No, I'm with you.
I would say probably the last decade. It was like the mid 2010s where it started to kind of the tide started to change. And we still get shit, right? I mean, there's always going to be shit horror movies. That always just comes with the genre.
That comes with
yeah. But I'm glad that we're kind of coming back and really and with because obviously superheroes movies were like the predominant genre that was killing the box office for all these years. With that kind of taking a step back, I appreciate the fact that horror has been the one that kind of filled that void a little bit.
Absolutely.
and been the one to become like more of the mainstream genre. So it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool to see.
No,
So we'll get some of
that.
we'll get some of these comments. Oh shit, I haven't seen Black Phone 2 yet. I can't believe that's out already. Yeah, it was a pretty quick turnaround. I think it was 2 years, I want to say. Maybe 2 or 3 since the last one, so it was quick. And it did sneak up on us, honestly. I don't feel like there was a lot of marketing for it. First one was a banger. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Sinners was definitely underrated. I feel like it's not
underrated.
Some people say it's overrated. I think it just gets like the perfect amount. Like it's exactly what it should be. It's going to get a bunch of awards too. Like, dude, I didn't even think about that the other day. I'm like, the Oscar nominations that this film's going to have, Michael B. Jordan might be able to get Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. That might happen. I mean, I don't know if he'll win, but like he might get nominated for both because he plays twin brothers. So
yeah.
You never know. Oh man, I hope you can watch it soon because I know when you do, you're gonna be like, dude, I should have watched this when it came out because like it's so good.
I'm tempted, man. It's just sitting there looking at me, and my brother.
And like I said, the horror elements of it, it's there, but it's not the forefront. That's not the story.
Okay.
That, they're talking. So
okay.
Yeah. Weapons was sick and diabolical. Yes, absolutely. That movie. I think I would say that Weapons had a crazier, like, full experience just because of the way it tells the story. I think I've kind of talked to you about how the structure of the movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that way, I think it was more like it had me on the edge of my seat of like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, I have no idea where this movie's
those
going.
Darn weird aunties, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to spoil everything, but I know they're talking about doing a film for that character, and I'm like, you don't need to do that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, don't though. I'm like, dude, they gave you enough where it worked perfectly in the film. And
so
you'll see
just
what
like
I mean.
A prequel of what she's been doing?
Yeah. And like who she is. I don't want more though. Like, I feel like the way that they did it, like, it was good enough. There was enough in there where I think if you start to reveal more, I'm like, I don't need that,
So you just like where it just, I get what you're saying. She comes in.
Yeah.
What you get from her, instead of just giving us this backstory, you don't really need all that. We already got I feel you. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
What are your opinions about the latest Conjuring film? Yeah. You can leave that movie in 2010 or 2010 for me. I did not. No, I'm sorry. The Conjuring franchise. I loved the first 2. I thought they were great. I thought they.
I liked Annabelle. I like the Annabelle. I think it has some jump moments. I didn't jump.
Are you talking about the prequel? Are you talking about the prequel?
With the doll?
Yeah, so there's like 4 of those now, but there was one. It was the second one, and it was a prequel to
where they brung the doll to their house and locked them in and then the stupid kid goes and opened the.
That one wasn't that bad. That's not the one I'm talking about though. There's actually a better one than that. I think it's the second one. I can't remember what it's called, but that one I think is good.
Okay.
But the problem with me is the first 2 with James Wan were absolutely great, and then all these spin-offs, like they're talking about doing a sequel to The Curse of La Llorona, dog. Like, what are we doing here? Get that out of here, man. Like that is like the epitome of the era of horror that I hated, and I just don't want to keep doing it. Me and Caitlin went to go see it at the drive-in, and I was just sitting there like, dude, can we just drive up out of here? I really don't want to watch this anymore. So yeah, terrible stuff. I don't want to end it on a downer note though, because horror's back. But that series can just go, just get
kick rocks.
Yeah, kick rocks. Get the hell out. All right, so we'll move on. So this one, not a lot to talk about. But Timothy Chalamet, or however the hell you say his last name, T-Money. He's out here posting photos, basically confirming that Dune 3 has started production. Which I know, dude, we gotta go see 3. Me and JD went and saw 2, and I was thinking to myself, like, dude, if Ronell would have been here, this would have been like a euphoric moment where we all just hovered in the theater from how godly this movie was when I saw part 2.
Oh, dude,
you're on the same path, right? Like part 2 is just like,
Man, what?
One of the best
just
movies I've ever
sometimes,
seen. Yeah.
dude, I sometimes turn it on and like I looked at like I know the old Doom movies,
Yeah.
like the book,
Yeah.
and just the way they like did these dude, what's his name that plays Elvis? He played Elvis phenomenal.
Austin Butler. Yeah, dude.
Austin Butler, dude. He took me. Like, I'm a huge fan of oh boy, Skargar. What's his first name? The one that played the uncle.
Yeah. Skellen Skarsgård, the dad.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the dad to Bill and the other one. Yeah.
He's just a phenomenal actor to me, man.
Yeah.
Anything you put him in, he's golden. I think Zendaya's part was great.
Yeah.
Old boy that played dang man, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Gurney?
All in
Josh Brolin, yeah.
No, not Josh Brolin.
No, not
the star of the show, the star of the movie.
Oh yeah, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
Timothy. Yeah. And I just think, even though he did a phenomenal job, Austin Butler just stole this spotlight for me, man.
Dude, that final scene when they have the monologue before they fight, bro. That's why I said, if we would have been together, we all would have levitated out of our seats and just been like me and JD, bro, we had looked like we had been in a car crash walking out of the I'm not kidding. Like, genuinely, that was like top 5 movie theater experiences of my life. We got to see it like a week early too. It was so crazy.
Yeah. My brother hits me up about that part, like, yo, man, I just watched that part. I'm like, knife, dude,
chip and shatter, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Oh,
every time, bro. Every time.
So this coming into Dune 3, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how they put the story together. They've done a phenomenal job so far, so I'm on board, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I haven't got into the series. They got Dune Prophecy. I haven't heard anything about it.
Not okay. Good. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, me and Caitlin, because Caitlin loves Dune too, which that's a series I never would have thought that she would have loved. But she loves it, and we tried to watch that, dude. I got through 3 episodes. I'm like, I can't do this.
That's crazy.
And it's completely different. Like it's like 300 or 400 years in the past, so it's not even really tied to the movies. So like for me, once I couldn't really get into it, I was like, yeah, if I ain't gotta watch this for the movies, I really can't, to be honest with you. But I just want to give, obviously the books are like notoriously known for being very, very hard to adapt, and I want to give a shout out to Denis Villeneuve, man. That guy, between Dune, both films, Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, like he is like slowly becoming like one of the greatest sci-fi directors of our generation.
He does a very good job.
Like I watched Blade Runner 2049 like last year, I want to say. I was like, I'm not even a huge fan of the first Blade Runner, to be honest with you. And I like 2049. I was like, dude, this is really, really good. So, for him, like the fact that he is involved with this film, I'm very excited about that because
also it's going to be successful.
Correct. And also too, a lot of people say that Messiah, which is the second book, gets very controversial and there are a lot of storylines that people don't like. So I'm very curious to kind of see whether or not he's going to fully adapt that story or if maybe he's going to adapt some of that story and then some of the later books, because I know we get into like the children of Paul and stuff like that. So I haven't read the books fully, but I do know kind of what happens and where we go. Yeah. So I wonder if, what he's going to change and what he's going to keep.
What angle?
So I'm very curious to see on that. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I will be.
I'm super excited.
Like,
man.
dude, I will.
We got to get. We got. Hit me up, man.
Yeah, we're going. We're going to one of the earliest screenings we can find, and we're going because I've never been more. And I'll be honest, I was not a huge fan of Part 1 when it first came out. I think
really,
and it's weird to say. I feel like the movie was just too much setup, but then once I got Part 2, and I went back
You
and
kind
watched
of
part one,
okay.
it like
Okay.
unlocked something in my brain where I'm like, oh no, that was a masterpiece too. I just didn't see the vision. I just didn't understand. And then once I got it, I was like, okay.
You know what? That thinking about what you said, I think a lot of people felt like that when they first watched it. It was kind of like okay, what is this? And then once 2 came out, like you said, just revisiting part 1, it brings so much light to it.
Yeah. Well, and obviously
then,
too, the first 2 movies were the first book just split. So it was kind of like part 1 wasn't really like a full complete story. So when we got part 2, that just recontextualized everything for me, and I loved both even more, so.
And I'm starting to like who plays the Emperor's what's her name that plays the Emperor's daughter?
Florence Pugh.
Yeah, I'm really starting to like her.
She's so good.
Man.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's so like
good. Between this, because she's going to have a much bigger role in this film.
Yeah,
they've already confirmed that. Yeah. And obviously, if you know where the books go, then that she's going to be a bigger role. And then she's got this. She plays Yelena, obviously, in the MCU. And then she does like these other side projects and movies.
It was a movie where she played a wife in like it was like in this like world. She was
with I can't remember what it was called. The one with
I can't remember
Styles.
the name, but it was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent movie, man.
Yeah, even if she's not in like the best movies, like her performance is always good.
Yeah, she's good.
Always
she's very good. Yeah.
So yeah, man, dude, I'm so excited for part 3. Like it's hard for me to handle myself. All right, so yeah, just these comments real quick. I haven't seen Dune yet. Couldn't get past the first few minutes, but I'll get back to it once I can. It looks promising. Yeah, like I was saying before, I was in the same position where I was not a huge fan of part 1, but then once you watch both movies, it unlocks something, and you're like, okay, I see it, I get it now. And I was the same way, and now I can't wait until 3. Like I don't know if it's next year. I think it's next year. But even with all the huge movies that are coming out next year, that's still my number 1 most anticipated film and the one I'm most excited for. So.
Big time.
So, okay, let's move on. We're going to go back to box office here, and we are going to talk about Tron Ares.
Okay.
Because, not looking great. So I'll be honest with you. I know, we had kind of talked about going to see Tron Ares. So I'll kind of give you my backstory with the Tron franchise. I didn't see any of the movies until 2010 when Legacy came out.
Okay.
I watched the original. Couldn't stand it. Only because it looked,
3D bit.
It looks so bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like even now when I see clips on TikTok, I'm like, I will never go back and revisit that movie. I just can't do it. I know the plot, right? I know exactly what happens, but I'm like, I can't.
Honestly, if today you would just need to watch the second one. Legacy, you can watch the first one later. You can just watch the second one, and it'll kind of catch you up.
Yes. So I went to watch Legacy, right? Because I intended to go see Tron Ares. It's not for me. This franchise is just not for me, man. I don't know what it is about it. A lot, and I think even the fans of the series will say, and it's my biggest problem, is that the series kind of prioritizes style over substance. Where
I was about to say,
they're beautiful movies. Like I could imagine seeing either Legacy or Ares in like IMAX 3D, and it being like visually the most beautiful thing in the world. But there's nothing for me to connect to on like a story level, like even Legacy, which people praise, and I'm like, I just couldn't do it.
I don't think Tron was ever meant to be one of those movies that you connected story-wise. It's the simplest story in the world.
It is,
and so I think you really just get into it because of the special effects. It's a special effect, like Ready Player One.
Yeah,
the story was
even
cool.
That one though, sorry, I resonated more with the main character out of that film than I did from anyone with Tron. I'll be honest. Like, I know that's bad to say because like Ready Player One wasn't like a deep movie by any means, but
no, it was just it was nostalgia. That's all it was.
And I cared more about that character than I did about anyone from Tron, to be honest, dude. I was watching it and I'm like,
no, and I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
But that's what I put that in the realm of, because Tron is just it literally and I'm a Jared Leto fan. I like Jared Leto.
You're one of probably like the 10 remaining
10,
in the world.
Yeah. I know he's not a
he's not a fan favorite.
But I think I think he's a good actor. He just gets crappy parts.
Yeah.
Because some of his serious stuff, like he played in a movie with Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club, I think it was.
Dallas Buyers Club,
or something like that. I can't. Yeah.
He played a good role in that. A little funky, a little weird, but he played a good role in it.
Well, and I'll be honest, like I don't think he's the best actor, but I definitely believe that some of the hate that he gets has to do with his personality,
the roles,
some of the outside of acting antics that he gets up to, like the whole thing with Margot Robbie, with Suicide Squad, and
But then you look at the end part of and I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but if you go into the end credit with Justice League and that part of the Joker that he played, and that was great.
I'll say that scene was better than all of the Suicide Squad that he was in.
Oh, big time.
Which is like
I totally agree. I don't know what happened. Like, because you give us that, and then we look at Suicide Squad. So I think with
it was more the direction. I don't think it was really necessarily him. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I think with Tron, I think they're trying to make it a story now, because the first Tron that came out, it was just fun.
Yeah.
They're trying to make this a story. I don't think people are going to receive it like that, because Tron was just huge in the 80s because it was the first of its kind, seeing it. So trying to make it a story, you got some good actors, decent actors in it.
Yeah.
But
the cast was pretty. It was pretty solid, at least from what I could tell.
The cast wasn't bad, but it wasn't a movie that's gonna capture people. I didn't expect it to do big in the box office. No. I just go see Tron because, like I said, I'm into stuff like that. All the colors, that whole. I kid you not, Alan. That whole motorcycle scene was uncalled for. Yeah. Like it was uncalled for.
Absolutely.
So uncalled for. So I get it. I get it. I think we always just wanted to see if the computer world came into the real world, and that's where they're trying to go with it.
Go in this one, yeah. And again, it probably will be a movie I'll eventually see, right? Because I did see Legacy, I did see the original. Again, I'm not a huge fan. I just was like, once I watched Legacy again, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pay the $20 to go see this in IMAX, because that was really the only thing I was going to do, because I'm like, I need to see this on like the biggest and like most vibrant screen possible. And then once I watched, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it.
So you didn't see Tron, Ares?
Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like it.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I went to go see it.
I didn't know you saw it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, because she's a big sci-fi, so she's like, hey, let's go see. I'm like, all right, I had some time.
Yeah.
And when I seen it, I'm thinking like, you're probably not gonna like it.
No, probably not. Yeah, probably not. But this is what the topic was. I made this topic. The level of box office that it did not do is crazy. So right now, yesterday, it was reported by Deadline that this is going to lose Disney $132.7 million. And they basically have come out and said that they're putting the Tron franchise on hold for foreseeable future. And I'm like,
there's no way that you continue this. Yeah, no way.
But like my thing with that, even though I'm not a huge fan of the series, I don't know necessarily if that's the right thing to do. I think a big problem, obviously, and one of the biggest problems I have with like modern filmmaking is that these movies' budgets are just getting way out of control. They cost way too much to make. And Tron, I feel like anyone who knew anything about this series and trends and box office could have told you that this movie was not going to make a lot of box office. It wasn't going to do gangbuster numbers. So why did you give it the reported budget, which is, and I read it earlier, $220 million?
You got to.
Why would you give it that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. You got to.
I mean, I see what you're saying because of the effects.
Yeah. So I
but
think
dude, that's the same budget as the first Avengers movie. Think about that.
Though, Alan, look, if you ever watch the first Tron, making that into a 2025 movie, I'm gonna be honest, that budget was pretty good.
Oh, it was really good.
All the
That's why
effects.
It looks like a 3-bit video game.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, you're actually. I'm actually making your point for you.
So it's really I get it. I just don't understand. Honestly, you didn't really have to make it a movie. You could have made it a series.
Genuinely.
Yeah, that's.
I think too. It's probably it might be better made for it because then I feel like you can kind of do something different. And try to
the budget is probably a little less.
Yeah. And you didn't have to go as blockbuster, right? And we need action scenes and visual effects that are $1 million,
Dude, they're selling the popcorn they went all out.
They went all in.
Man.
Yeah.
So
and I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but I don't know if picking Jared Leto was the smartest, right? And again, I don't hate the guy, and I don't dislike anything he's in automatically. But when you have a franchise like that that's never made a lot of money, it hasn't been around for a while. You kind of need someone a little more steady, right? And who's gonna get excitement. Somebody said, get the
guy from that's playing in the Running Man. I think he's picking up steam. I like him.
Yeah,
he probably would have been cool.
Dude, they've showed that trailer for every movie I've seen the past 3 months, and honestly, it looks great. I can't wait to see it. But I'm dude, I need to stop seeing this trailer. I have seen it so many times. I'm the marketing budget that they have given for this movie is insane because I see this trailer. Dude, I'll be seeing a romance movie and a Running Man trailer starts playing. I'm this ain't even the same genre. What are we doing here?
Have you watched? So this is a Stephen King. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. This is a Stephen King novel. But have you watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I have. It was quite a long time ago. So it
has nothing to do with the novel. That's what I'm saying. So they're going off the novel.
Okay.
This go around.
Okay.
Right. Where it's real messed up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll be honest. If you asked me to tell you anything about that film with Arnold, I could not.
It's an Arnold 80s, 90s.
Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid because my dad was really big into Arnold in that time period. So, but I don't remember anything about it, to be honest. So it's going to be fresh. I'm honestly, because now that you say that, I'm just not even going to see it. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, you're going to laugh if you watch it now.
Yeah. I'll go straight into the new one. And just kind of let that one form my opinion.
I got you. Good idea, man.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on. Obviously, this week we have, again, more horror, because that's mostly what we're talking about today, because that's all the news we've had. We have Welcome to Derry, the new It prequel series, premiering on Sunday on HBO Max, which I'm very excited about. Last week, I did a reaction on the stream to the trailer, and I about pissed myself because of how good I thought it looked.
Yep.
And there's been some rumors, or not rumors, some more details that have been coming out about it, and some people have been upset because they basically came out and said that Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is not going to be at the forefront until later on in the episodes.
Well, I expected that though. You expect it's a series.
And it's a series. He's a shapeshifter. And I feel like people are not like, and they made that very clear. They're not grasping it when they made that very clear in the first two movies that like that's not what he looks like. He switches depending on who the person is that he's going after, and their fears. So I hear that, and then I see people complaining, and I'm like, well, that's what we want. That's what this show. I feel like the thing that gets me most excited about this show is the fact that we kind of can move a little bit away from Pennywise and do the other monsters.
Did they not like watch the first two It's and seeing like there was bits and pieces where it showed you he's not a clown all the time?
Exactly.
So at one point he was a man that ran a circus, and there's a lot. So and I don't know what it is with the Skarsgård family, but they're all awesome.
Oh, they're they're so good. All of them
they're good as what. Him still being in the I feel like he's Pennywise now. Like old boy that passed away that played in the original It, of course, was the man.
Yeah, I love him, but no, Bill Skarsgård is
Bill Skarsgård.
There's no one better.
He's Pennywise.
There's no one better. Like and even still, or no, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and then you get into more of the violent aspect of like when you watch the first and second one and you seeing all these things happening around like we got right into Pennywise. We're gonna see everything just building up and what took place in Derry and how violent it would get. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah. And I'm very happy with what it seems like the direction they're taking. I don't know if this. I'm assuming this one because I think they said it was in the 50s, correct?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, so essentially they're going back 27 years from when the first movie took place. So I wonder if this is going to be a series where maybe we go back every single season. I'm like that. I would enjoy. I would like something like that. And I just wanted to show this photo too because this is obviously like some of the first looks that we got of him.
Dude,
he like you got to think it's been 6 years since we've seen him last as Pennywise.
Right.
And I look at this photo and I'm like, this dude was born to play this role. Like
it's crazy. When you see him outside of that, like all you see is it.
Yeah.
Pennywise, rather.
Yeah. Well, he does such a good job though that even when I see him though, outside of other, like the performance is so vastly different, right?
Yeah,
it's so like it's not even remotely the same, and I think that just goes to show how much he fully embodies the role. Yeah. Like it's insane. So yeah, dude, I watched that trailer on stream. I hadn't watched any trailers for the show at all, and I went and watched that trailer on stream last week. And
I thought you would have caught the
I didn't
trailers.
watch anything.
You
because I tried. I've been trying like for me, unless it's a movie that I am very, very, very excited for, or a TV show, I try to avoid watching any trailers before I watch it.
Okay.
And unless obviously I go to the movies all the time, so I can't really avoid movie trailers all like that. But for that, like TV, I try to avoid a bunch because I like to just go in fresh. I don't really want to know a lot. But I was like, I watched that trailer and I was like, dude, my excitement level just jumped to the sky after watching that trailer. It had I don't know if you watched it, but it had like that creepy,
big
like
time.
Down with the clown. I'm like, oh my God, bro. I'm like,
that's why I said, dude, they're gonna get in more into the violent aspect or how
of the whole town.
It just of the whole town. I'm down with it, man. Like seeing that was like, oh man. I'm probably gonna break code watching this.
yeah, for sure. No, and well, I mean, look, it is like that is such a timeless story, right? Like that is one that has carried even the book. Like there's so much to it, and it just has been such a mainstay in pop culture for decades at this point.
Stephen King is
man. He's so good. He's so good.
Weird is all out. And it's crazy. He's more of a sci-fi guy, than actual horror. He's actually his horror. It goes into horror, but he's more of a sci-fi person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the crazy part of it.
Yeah.
So,
I will say too. Recommendation movie wise, I don't know if you ever got to see it. The Long Walk. That was another Stephen King adaptation that came out recently.
I haven't seen that.
dude.
Oh, wait, yeah, I think you were.
It just came out. It came out recently.
Okay,
dude.
Okay.
That's Sinners, Weapons, The Long Walk. That's my top 3 so far. Dude, that movie was so good. So good. And it's not even sci-fi or horror. It's like its own
it's just a
post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Hunger Games. Dude, it's good. I think it just came out on digital yesterday. If you can watch it, go watch it, dude. I think you'll love it.
All right, cool. So, and what platform is it on? Or I
think they just did like the digital release, so it's only available to like buy and rent right now. I want to say, I don't remember. I think it might have been a Universal film. So I'm assuming if it comes to streaming, it might go to like Peacock first. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if you can watch it as soon as you can. It is fantastic. A very, very good movie. One that I wasn't expecting to like nearly as much as I did. The whole theater, dude, I've never seen so many people crying in a theater. It was crazy. I couldn't believe the level. Yeah, like there were like grown men in that theater weeping. Okay. And I couldn't believe that. I was shocked. Yeah, it was crazy. It's a go watch the trailer and you'll know why. It's a very dour film, but it's like about brotherhood and it's really, really good. I was blown away by it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic. There's some news that came out essentially about a potential scrapped Kylo Ren film that was called The Hunt for Ben Solo. Supposedly it was set after Rise of Skywalker. Which, I heard that and I'm like,
who's hunting?
I don't know. I could try to pull up the article here. Supposedly Lucasfilm loved the idea, but Disney was like, no, why are we doing this? Well, and like their whole thing is like, how is he alive? And I'm like, unless he's coming back as like a
ghost,
a Force ghost. I don't. Why are we hunting a Force ghost? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. What are we doing there? Eight, and then you're probably gonna get them the last 2 episodes. What for? You already told this.
Oh, this was supposed to be a film.
No, please don't.
Yeah, I'm like,
what?
It was supposed to be a movie. Yeah, it wasn't even a TV show or anything like that.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, which, and me, I was very high on Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. I thought
big time,
easily one of the best parts of that sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
but they had done that storyline so bad that by the end,
big
specifically,
time,
like Rise of Skywalker, especially, I was just like, I don't know what we're doing here.
It's crazy. It's so much story that they could tell. You can go back. You can go back to the Old Republic. You can go back.
Yeah,
dude. You can even do what was the game that came out with the Star Killer? You can even just do that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to keep trying to force this on us.
Even if we're going to talk video games, they just came out with Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know if you've played those games or not. Yeah. One of the best Star Wars video. Yeah.
Very, very good.
And the guy who did the motion capture for the main character is a good actor. Give him a movie. Do something with him. Like,
good actor.
I don't understand the need for Disney, and honestly, even to a little bit of an extent, Lucasfilm, because that was kind of the whole thing that people had a problem with the prequels. Why are we so gun-ho on just telling the same story with the same bloodline over and over and over again?
I mean, like, they're the only ones that tapped into the
dude, these are not like, and I understand, like, maybe you want that to be like the catalyst of the universe and that bloodline to be at the center of everything, but like, it's like if Game of Thrones only ever told the story about the Targaryens ever, right? It's like,
absolutely,
there is so much lore and so much that you can do with this universe that you're just not. And then we're kind of, we got somebody like Dave Filoni, who is doing all this stuff on the TV side. You know, they're doing a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which, like, I don't really know how I feel about that, truthfully. And his whole universe that he set up always has to tie back to Clone Wars. So it's like on each side, we're tying back to the original Skywalker saga, or we're tying back to Clone Wars. And, you know, Ahsoka and everything involved with that TV show.
You might as well bring Mace Windu back.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'd be pretty happy if I saw Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Only because at least he was an original character that, you know, people cared about. And I don't know. I don't understand. This is my biggest issue with, since Disney has acquired Star Wars. You've gotten this property and you continue to do nothing of real substance with it.
Nope.
And I don't know, man. I just it's just disappointing because it's like I love Star Wars. Obviously, it was a huge staple of my childhood.
Big time, yeah.
It was huge.
From Clone Wars all the way to Revenge of the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, those 6 films, perfect to me. Yeah, they were perfect. I mean, you showed the story of Anakin, which everybody was looking for. They were pissed at George Lucas when he decided to, you know, I guess just give it up, and then he goes back, he does the prequel. You give us that storyline, but then this moving forward with this Palpatine. I don't know who said this was a good idea. I don't know even with this. Yeah, canceling when I seen it, he said cancel Kylo Ren. I'm like, who the hell even thought about?
How is this even an idea to get canceled in the first place?
Like, how is this an idea to get canceled? Yeah. Where is this coming from?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be a prequel or something, but I'm like, why do we need a prequel? We know kind of what's going on.
We do, yeah. I mean, that would have made more. Well, the only thing I thought when I first, like when I saw the article without like reading in the details, I thought, oh, maybe they're doing a Knights of Ren prequel. You know, because they set that up in the movies, right? That was kind of an interesting thing. But then I read that and I was like, you said after Rise of Skywalker? What the fuck are we talking about here? Like, and you know, and then it just reminds me, you know, because obviously we had first met when the whole like Force Awakens era had happened.
Yeah.
And like the hype that we all had after that movie. And ever since then, it has just been devastation after devastation, and it's just never recovered. You know, we talk about how Warner Brothers can't recover. Like, Disney Star Wars cannot recover. It's impossible.
I knew it was going to head in the wrong direction when she picked up that lightsaber on The Force Awakens, and she beat him. And I was like,
dude,
hold up.
Yeah.
And
there was multiple ways you could have did that. Yeah. Well, and you know, I had that theory. Yeah. From back in after Force Awakens, that was my running theory.
That was your she was a Palpatine.
And then we got it in Rise of Skywalker, but the way they did it, I'm like, I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted at all.
Palpatine returns after all these years. Like, he's just been sitting down there. Which I can kind of get because he's so powerful. Just like if you ever watch if you ever watch the series, the cartoon, with Yoda. I mean Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he fights.
Rebels.
Maul. Darth Maul.
Yeah, Rebels. Yeah. Yep.
And so you kind of tell that. Like somebody had the idea to bring him back, and he's got this whole fleet. It was.
This is an actual line in the movie right now. Somehow, Palpatine returned. No shit. Somehow, because we don't know. They couldn't even write a reason. They couldn't even write it.
Because you're right. Because I thought of it myself. Like, maybe he was just so powerful.
We don't know. We have no idea how he returned. They never told you. Because they didn't know. They didn't know. They were like, okay, you know what? They just did Avengers Endgame. Let's just do our version of that, even though we didn't earn it in any way, shape, or form.
Man.
Yeah, sorry. And I get so frustrated when I read these stories about. Well, because you got to think, how many movies in the last 8 years have they announced and then canceled? Like this is just like a recurring thing over and over.
Yeah, like who's ever me and a friend of mine was just talking about how bad they've just done with this whole franchise. It's kind of like probably the worst fail out of any franchise because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you got so much material to use to bring it back, and you're just not doing it. You keep trying to force this story on us. Yeah. It's like, but don't you want to see Kylo Ren? No, I don't. No. I love Adam. Like you said, I love Adam Driver. He's one of my favorite actors of this generation. But no.
Yeah. I agree. Well, and again, it just makes the universe smaller when you do that. It takes away all the possibilities. We're just in a circle, repeating it over and over, and I'm like,
over and over again.
I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is not.
What's Jon Favreau when he was doing Mandalorian and they tried to
Jon Favreau,
and try to mess with his project? I'm like, no, he got something good going with. Yeah. Now, if you tell me he's gonna direct something with Star Wars,
he is directing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Then I'll jump on it because
that's why I'm going to see it. Yeah, I'm going to see it. But when you look at Mandalorian, he did the first 2 seasons, which were awesome, and then the 3rd season he wasn't a part of, and it was terrible,
and it was whack,
It didn't work, and now they're bringing him back for the movie, and I'm like, okay, well maybe we can do something here, but I just don't know.
I don't. Yeah, because you keep feeding me, like you said, just reoccurring. Like we got another Yoda. So I don't know, man. Hold on.
The new Boba Fett with Mandalorian. Yeah.
God, like
yeah. And then Boba Fett, that was terrible too. I don't know if you saw
only good thing about Boba Fett was the bounty hunter that I've always liked. The one bounty hunter he fought in the last season. The blue guy.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I know
him coming on scene.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. That was good. Other than that,
well, the thing about that is that was like the 5th storyline of that season. So
yeah,
there was so much.
Killed off my boy, who was the sheriff in that town.
Yeah, the guy Timothy Oliphant who
played,
yeah.
So if Favreau is doing it, I'm gonna see it because I like he has very good ideas all the time. So I'm with him.
Yeah, when he's in the director chair, I mean, I would say Iron Man 2 was probably his weakest film, and even that wasn't terrible.
It wasn't bad,
and it wasn't his fault either, right? It was the studio meddling and stuff. It wasn't.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. Yeah, I hope they can eventually get it together and do something. They got to fire Kathleen Kennedy and just get somebody new in there, man.
I thought they did fire her.
No, she's still there.
I thought they let her go.
They've been saying that they're going to do that for like 5 years at this point. I don't know. It's just they need new leadership. That's just what it is. They need new leadership. It can't.
Because I'm sure she thought of this.
She probably did. She probably wrote the script. No, I'm kidding.
Whole script and everything, guys.
No, I'm kidding.
Look what I got.
Yeah.
And they seen that on the table. It was like, nah.
No, she wrote the Rey movie, not the Kylo Ren one. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, that's the one she wrote.
All her. That's got her all over it.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on because I know we've been ranting about this for a while. Because Star Wars gets me depressed and doesn't make me happy anymore. So yes, so this is kind of a quick one. A24, has been filming and producing a new Friday the 13th prequel series called Crystal Lake. Now I don't know how much of this you know about, but essentially it's going to revolve around Jason's mom before he dies. Obviously.
Oh yeah. I was. As a matter of fact, she goes into my top 10. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So you know who it is that's playing her.
Yeah.
Or no. I'm sorry. So do you know who's playing her?
No, I don't know who's playing her. I just know like that's one of my favorite. But we'll get into that. Yeah. Nah. Who's playing her?
So it is the I can't remember her name, but the woman who played Hawkeye's wife, and she was Velma in the live action Scooby Doo.
Really?
Linda, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's her. So she'll be playing Jason's mom in the show, which I'm kind of interested to see because obviously the Jason dying is where like the pivotal turn happens with
big time.
Like, we didn't know who Mrs. Voorhees was before Jason, right? Dying. So
seemed like a sweet lady, and
exactly. Yeah. So I wonder. I'm interested to see how she plays it because I feel like it's going to be a different version than what we've seen.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if they're going to go over the events of Jason dying,
okay,
is she going to have that turn? Yeah, and the fact that it's A24, that's the part of it that I'm like, ooh,
yeah, A24.
That really piques my interest. And obviously, Friday the 13th too is one of like Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street where we haven't gotten anything from that franchise in. I think we're at like 15 or 16 years too on that one.
Yeah,
at this point, so it's like, which I am surprised because like we obviously had the whole like requel era in the late 2010s, like around 2018, 2019, where like Halloween they did like the whole thing where they only acknowledged the first one and then did the whole new trilogy and stuff. So I'm surprised with both of those franchises we have not gotten a revival or any new movies. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, so like, I'm pretty excited. I think that this has a potential to do something interesting and new and unique in the franchise. And I'm just happy that we're kind of getting another project finally in the Friday the 13th
I'm interested
franchise.
in the story because dude, that first Friday the 13th is in my top 10. And just how she got to that point, because before then she was luring people to Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like a reverse Norman Bates kind of
style thing. Yeah.
So I'm very interested in
seeing
how this. I like this.
I'll be honest, of all of like the iconic slasher series, I would actually probably say Friday the 13th is my least favorite.
Okay.
Just because I feel like there is way less good movies than there are bad. Like a lot of the Friday the 13th movies are just not good.
Oh yeah. No, that's
I'll be honest. I think me and you disagree. I think the first original is one of the worst of all time, personally.
I got you.
I obviously was a big fan of because of when I was born, I was a bigger fan of just Jason specifically. So that first movie, and the first movie was very different from everything else that came after. Like what the series is known for, that first movie didn't really have any of that. So I don't know. I've just never been the biggest fan. Obviously, it was a big because wasn't Kevin Bacon in that one? That was his first
I think so. Yeah.
So signature role that he had. So I know it was very influential, right, and everything. But yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of it. My favorite, honestly, is actually the 2009 remake. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
And the only reason that it is because it combines the plot of the first three movies all together. And 4 was my favorite beforehand. Before that one came out, 4 was my favorite, and then. And 2, I'm a sucker for Freddy vs. Jason. I can't lie.
I'm gonna be honest. There's no Jason movie I actually like. The first.
Oh, really? Is the only one? It's the only one.
No,
You're like, no.
Dude,
yeah.
And I know how iconic, dude. You had the three big, the big icon. You had Freddy, Mike, and Jason. So
he's the weakest one to me, though. He's the weakest one.
Jason.
I prefer Freddy and Mike Myers over.
Big time. Sure. The first 2 Nightmare on Elm Streets was
incredible,
crazy.
Yeah,
just
I was just watching the original because they're doing the on AMC, the TV channel. They're doing the Fear stuff where they show all the movies, and I was watching the first one. I'm like, dude, this is so good. Robert Englund, which is
We might as well get into the last topic.
yeah, we're just gonna move on. So okay, so I posted it like that, but it actually is revolved around an article. So we're gonna go into the article first, and then we'll kind of talk about like ours. I didn't do 10, so like if you don't have 10, that's fine. I only have a couple that I'm gonna really talk about, but I just wanted to go into this list. So let me get it pulled up here. So basically, there was a study that was done, and this was by a Science of Scare project, is what it's called, where essentially, and I'm going to pull up the screen here real quick. Essentially, it was ranked what the scariest movies of all time were by like people who got hooked up and like their heartbeat read during the movies. So this is the list. So number 10, a lot of these I don't really like because they're all modern. Like, so I'm like, what was the actual like movies that were shown to these people, and how did we get to this list? So number 10 was Talk to Me, which that movie came out a couple years ago. It's a really good movie. It was by the Rocker brothers, who did like I don't know if you've ever seen like the Ronald McDonald video where he like is all gangster and like, I'll fucking beat her, and he like beats the dude up. That was that. So they went and made a couple horror movies, and that was their first one. Really good film, very unique. Definitely not the scariest of all time. Nowhere near a top 10 list. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm sorry, you're smoking crack if you have The Exorcism of Emily Rose over the original Exorcist, which we're going to get into that in a minute. The two Smile movies, I am an avid defender of Smile 2. I think that is one of the best horror movies that we've gotten in the last couple of years, and it is a brutally relentless film, and one that is pretty, like, not for me because I'm an adult, but like if I saw that movie as a kid, it probably would have traumatized me. It's not in the top 10 scariest movies of all time. The first one's definitely not in the top 10 scariest movies of all time. So this list is on crack. Hereditary at number 6. Hereditary is my favorite horror movie of the last 20 years, and I will take that to the bank. That is the only movie that should be on this list. That movie is incredible, and it actually is scary. It's the only movie that, as an adult, had me on the edge of my seat and was filled with so much tension.
I'm about to murder this list. I'm gonna let you know right now.
Yeah, no, I know. The Conjuring, dude. I'm sorry, we just had that conversation. Even the first one, which I think is good, get the fuck out of here. Doesn't belong on this list. Insidious. What? That's even worse than The Conjuring. The first one, and I liked the first.
This is not good.
That was okay. Skinamarink. I'm sorry. You've probably never even seen the movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and I'm a big horror guy. That movie absolutely sucked. It's an hour and 30 minutes.
This couldn't have been a study.
It was an actual science study. They did. This was real. I couldn't believe it when I read it. I was like, this is actually real. Now, who they studied, I mean, are we studying, 10-year-olds who just are seeing horror movies for the first time in their life? Maybe.
Studying everybody that's on shrooms.
So every jump makes them fucking jump out of their seat. Yeah. Host, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that movie. So
I heard of it. I don't. Yeah. But it's not. I don't think it's. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sinister, which I like Sinister. I actually that's one of my more of the 2010s like demon possession movies. I actually like that one. I liked. They got the picture of it here with Bagul. Like I liked that movie. That movie was pretty good.
Okay.
But to tell me it's the scariest movie of all time based on heart rates, I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying it. So I figured we would talk about what are some of the movies for you that, even if you have to go back to when you were a kid, because obviously for me that was when I got scared of scary movies when I was younger. What are some of your scariest movies of all time?
So I'm not doing this in order because I don't really. So let me bring up the first Child's Play. Let me tell you how iconic this movie was. They had a doll called My Buddy and Kid Sister that came out. So the a-holes who came out with Child's Play and what's my dude name that talks for Chucky? He's such an icon.
Brad Dourif.
Dude. I had a My Buddy doll.
Yeah.
And that was at the time where parents allowed their kids to watch scary movies.
Yeah.
Do you know they shut that company down
Because of that movie?
because of that movie?
I bet. Yeah.
So Child's Play, the first one,
Yeah.
takes the
And,
cake.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta bring Jason. I mean, not Jason, but Friday the 13th, the first
Friday,
one.
Yeah.
Reason being, you wouldn't have never thought his mom was the killer until the end.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I don't like that movie, that's one of the best twists of all time.
That's one of the best twists of all times.
Yeah.
She psycho mom.
Yeah.
And then I mean they got into the other things with him coming back to life and being possessed, and his mom was always, and that's cool. But that really, like, that was scary for me. The mom. That's a mom, dog. Like
Yeah.
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
A little kid who the first Halloween, first and second Halloween, the original ones. I love Rob Zombie's. When he did his, I love it, but that kid growing up to be a straight psychopath and going after his baby sister relentlessly.
Yeah.
And anytime you shoot him or you thought you killed him, you look back, the body gone.
Dude, that ending scene of the original where they shoot him off the balcony. Like, and I'll kind of spoil that original film is for me one of my movies as a kid that like traumatized me because
traumatizing, bro.
Especially in that original movie because they treated him as if he wasn't human, right? Like I feel like they, especially in the Rob Zombie ones, they kind of humanized him, right, and made him seem more normal. That first one, like when they called him the Shape, that was like the embodiment of like what terrified me because it was like you never know where he's at. You never know when he's going to show up. You never know when he's going to get you.
Man.
And he's an unstoppable killing machine. So
unstoppable.
Yeah. I was the same way with that too. I think
I'm going to surprise you with this one, but the suspense in this movie was I thought they did a very good job with this. The special effects was amazing.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man.
The newer one?
The newer one.
Dude. Agreed.
You were always on your toes with that movie. Like, man, what the heck? So, and even the plot, the twist, or not the plot.
For me, the anxiety that movie gave you, where it was like, because you're always wondering, is there someone in the room? That, I think on like just an internal level for everyone. We've all had that moment. Like, because I know for me, like, I've had that moment. I'll be sitting in my house and I'm like, why does it feel like somebody's here? You know what I'm saying? You ain't never. I know everyone's had it. When we're all sitting there, and I'm like, bro, it feels like somebody's in here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody in there, dude. So I love that movie. Old girl, I can never remember her name either.
Elizabeth Moss.
She was. Elizabeth Moss. Dude, she plays these roles so well. She played that role so well, man. To a T. I love that movie.
I think that movie would have got much more recognition if it wasn't for COVID because it came out literally a month before COVID broke out. So I feel like everybody kind of just forgot about it because of what was going on.
Dude, that movie is so good. So good.
Yeah.
And I think the last movie, Poltergeist. So here's why.
Yeah.
When the little kid seemed like he's the only one that made sense of everything going on. He wanted out. Yeah. But when he fights the little clown under his bed,
dude,
took me out.
I will say with that. So I saw Scary Movie 2 before I saw Poltergeist. So for me, the one where they make fun of that, where Sean Wayne's and he's got the thing that wraps around his neck and pulls him under the bed. I immediately think of that because I'm just so used to that movie instead. Yeah. But no, Poltergeist is really good. My wife, Caitlin's actually very, that's one of her favorites. She loved that growing up.
Poltergeist is amazing.
Yeah,
that one's good. I got one more, and that's Pet Cemetery, the first one. The first original. Yeah, the new one kind of sucked, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Wasn't as good. It should have been better. I felt like modernizing it and bringing it in with like real life, modern effects. I feel like should have did a good job, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But that's another Stephen King story, right? You know?
Yep. So those are my like big ones that stands out to me.
Yeah. So for me, I have a couple, right, that were like when I was a kid. I'll kind of get into the ones that traumatized me, right? Like the ones that I was like genuinely scared of, and then I'll kind of get into like the one. There's really only one that influenced me and is like my definitive franchise. So the one I can really think of that first I saw that like really scared me and like made me traumatized was absolutely The Exorcist. That was one where when I saw that, like, dude, that just I don't think I slept for like 4 days, I'll be honest with you, because I was so scared from that. And I'll be honest, I saw it way too young. I shouldn't have saw it at the age I did. So you got my parents to blame for that. But I saw it way too young, and it just completely terrified me. So Child's Play, I'll agree on that one because my older brother, growing up, he was a big fan of Child's Play, the series as a whole. He loved all of them. And I was born a couple years before Bride of Chucky. So, the craze, that was kind of like the revival, right? Like you had the original.
It was good. It was
good, but you got to think like the franchise at that time, like the first two were very iconic, very popular. The third one wasn't that great. And then there was a gap between the third one and Bride of Chucky. So Bride of Chucky was kind of like it coming back. So my brother had like a very lifelike Chucky doll, and it was the one that had all the stitches on it from like Bride of Chucky.
Oh, no.
And he would fuck with me. And I had a closet in my room that had like a board on it where you could set clothes and stuff and games. And he would go into my room before I would go to bed and put it right there. So when I went to bed and I looked, it would stare me right in the face. So I don't even think it was really more the movie that traumatized me. It was more like my familial people fucking with me, right? So that was terrifying. Halloween was definitely a big one. Like I had explained, the shape, like him, like thinking of him as more of like a transcending being that can just.
He was
like
the boogeyman.
He was the boogeyman, right? He was the shape. That's why I didn't like when they started to like in the sequels after Jamie Lee was gone from the series, where they started to do all these familial ties, and then they did like the cult thing. Like that was like, I hated all those middle ones, to be honest with you. And
that's why I was glad when Rob Zombie came out with his and was like, it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't
bad.
More of,
I just don't think anyone's ever going to touch that John Carpenter original. Like it's never going to get touched. Even like the series they did recently where they tried to basically only go off the first one. It's still like, dude, in Halloween Kills, he kills like 75 people in that movie. And I'm like, that's like, now it's just like a zombie Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? And you're telling me this guy's 75 years old and he's over here killing 100 people in a night? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of those, but that original one though really, really got me. And then
I don't even know where he got that knife from. Like, where do you find that knife?
Dude, it was like this big. Like
it was
like
machete,
a sword,
man.
Yeah, basically. But it looked like a kitchen knife. It was the size of a machete.
It was a kitchen machete knife.
Yeah. And like the scene where he stabs the dude right into the wall and he's just hanging there. Which
dude,
is not realistic at all, right? Like that knife he would fall right through and go to the ground.
And when he would just turn his head.
Yeah, and just like
looking at
I'm like, dude, that was as a kid, bro. That just terrified me, man. And then what's one other one I'm thinking that was really Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So the fear, especially as a child, the fear of going to sleep and someone that can get you in your dreams. That was just absolutely terrifying. But honestly, the franchise I would say that means the most to me, and the one that's my favorite horror movie of all time, even though it's not super scary or anything, is Scream. 100%.
Scream.
That first movie. I went and saw it in theaters a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
because they were showing it. Halloween time and everything.
Yeah,
and it was just so like to introduce the like meta commentary that Wes Craven did, and I know he did it with Freddy with New Nightmare. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. Which I like that one, but that wasn't as refined. Like New Nightmare wasn't as refined as Scream was. Just like the way that it commentated on horror, but while also being like the best version of a slasher that you can get. I thought, just masterful.
The first movie storyline was amazing. Like I mean, that story to tell it like that, like it wound up being two high school kids that was just on some trash.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, and there's 6 movies, and I don't think there's a bad movie in the franchise. Yes, I still think the first is the best, but the fact that it has remained consistently good over time, to me, is a huge feat. But yeah, man, it's that list was crazy. That one list that we were reading, that was fucking insane.
Oh man, I don't even know. Yeah, that was never somebody just that was a clickbait.
No, I mean I believe it happened, but it's like did you study with 10-year-olds and only show movies that came out in the last 15 years? Like I don't understand.
My God, like it's so much more out there. Like get out the house. Like it's so
like what? Like again, there's only one movie on there, which is Hereditary, that I would probably.
And I heard Hereditary. I don't think I've ever watched it, but I've heard Hereditary is very good. So
it's very demonic. I'll say that it's like very because it's based off of like the demon or the entity in the movie is based off of like a real like life folklore demon. So, like, when I watched that movie, I was like, dude, I think I need to go take a bath in holy water or something after watching it, to be honest.
I do have an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I just thought about it.
Yep.
I know it's going to sound crazy. But the first Blair Witch Project.
Oh, dude. I'm surprised, honestly, I didn't think about that, because when we're talking, like, when I was talking about Scream, I was talking about influential. Yeah. Bro, I will say, as much as I like Blair Witch Project, it influenced a decade worth of movies that I hate. I vehemently hate them. But that was the original, and that was the one that had that marketing campaign. People thought that movie was real. People thought that they found footage at a crime scene of ghosts and put it out there as a movie.
Yep.
Like, that was insane. That was absolutely insane.
It was crazy. Made me not ever want to go in the woods.
Dude, I don't think anyone ever wanted to after that.
After that. So
yeah. And because I was only, I want to say like 5 or 6 when it came out. And
that movie was crazy.
I remember though, like even at that age, I remember the buzz it was creating, because like my parents were all trying to see it, and like it was crazy. Like, and obviously that was like the early days of online. It wasn't like it wasn't like how it is now, where information is so quick and you get access to everything.
They market that very well.
Very well.
So
that might be one of the best marketed movies ever, honestly, because
big time, because you thought it was real.
Yeah, like, literally, like they convinced the whole world that was basically a real movie.
You had people going and telling these stories that they went to that same place. Like, you had people really going out of their way to go there and try to find this. Like, oh, dude, if you don't cut it out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have never did that. I would have just been like, I'm not.
Absolutely not.
Like,
whether it was a movie or whether I just don't need to even be found. They did a good job telling us what happened. So.
Yeah, like I don't need to go find out for myself.
Man. I never need to go find out for myself ever.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, that was definitely a very influential film. Like I said, I think it influenced the worst generation of horror that we've probably ever gotten. But it did for Ted. They tried to recreate that magic and that hype that they had for that movie for freaking damn near 12 years after that.
Yeah, because they kept coming out with stuff, didn't they?
Like paranormal movies, like stuff like that, like the found footage, like the Paranormal Activity series. That was like
you're right. Series. Yeah, it did influence all that. Yeah, because paranormal was kind of crazy too.
Yeah,
like seeing that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I hated that era. That was the worst.
Yeah, it was bad.
Those found footage, like that was basically like the first. Like I was probably like 6, 7 when that started. So that was like my first like real generation I was a part of horror, and I was like, oh, I hate this. So I would just always watch the old movies because I was like, these are 100 times better.
Terrible,
yeah, it was terrible, man. Oh my So yeah, that was a cool segment. I thought that was a good discussion point with that.
Oh, big time. Yeah, that was good.
Quote unquote that they were going to do. I was like, this is. I saw that list and I'm like, I'm ripping this to shreds when I see this list. I'm like, who did this? Like I said, it had to
need 10 movies.
Yeah, I'm like, dude. Yeah, no. Our 4 or 5 movies that we listed is like 20 of those 10 movies. What are we even talking about? Like, and again, there's movies on there I like. That's why I'm like, I don't even want to like hate on the movies specifically, but like to say they're the top 10 scariest, like again, it had to have been 10-year-olds who only have seen movies in the last 15 years. Like
they could have put Cocaine Bear up there, man.
Yeah, and that would have been in the same vibe. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have known.
Dude.
So, yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. We've been going for a little while here. So yeah, obviously I'm going to keep doing this show on a weekly basis, talking topics. It was a little bit weak in the news this week, so hopefully we got some more exciting stuff next week. Maybe next week, if you're on Ronell, we can, if there's any trailers or anything, we can do some reactions.
Oh, man, yeah, let me know, man.
Yeah, I kind of had some fun doing that last week, I'll be honest.
Okay.
There, so. Yeah, so we'll see. Obviously, we just gotta kind of wait and see what happens in the movie world and everything.
Yes,
but yeah, you can. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel. You can find me over on TikTok too. AG Reviews. I'm on X as well. AG Reviews. So anything on there, just let me know. And that is it for me. Everyone, and Ronell as well. Great to have you on. Have a great night.
Always, man.
And I'll see you guys later. Take care.